Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on PALWORLD. And as you can see, I have a flawlessly running PALWORLD running right now. And I'm going to go ahead and show you in this video how to make your own PALWORLD server for you, your friends, play alone, play with anyone you want to, or just open it up to the public and play with anyone that wants to play with you. So as you can see, it runs flawlessly and it's very easy to do. Now, all you have to do is basically know where to go. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my personal server provider is Gportal, and Gportal is essentially someone that I've always used, and you can join any of their games in order to get on just by going to join multiplayer game. Now you'd have to search for yours right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set it up and what settings to look for and everything that you need to know in order to create your own PALWORLD. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it down now. Anyways, this is the company that I use, gportal.com/en. And yeah, so you can see they've got a whole ton of different servers, and they just added PALWORLD servers today, and they've got really awesome stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So I'm gonna go ahead and click order now. You can do any number of slots that you want, really reasonable too if you want to play by yourself for $5.50 for 30 days, not bad at all. I'm gonna go ahead and click order now on the 10 slots. And I'm going to show you how to set it up and join and send a join link to anyone that wants to play with you, right? So you can see I've got a balance, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then we're going to verify all the stuffs. All right, now it's going to bring you to your server. So your dashboard and your server is going to open up. You can name it whatever you want. I've got one in place ready to go just so you guys can see it. It's going to give you all the information that you need to access anything. It's very user friendly. It's called a graphical user interface, also known as a GUI. And basically it allows you to turn things on and off however you want. So right off the bat, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click start. This is the start button. Literally green is on, red is off. And you would click that in order to start your server up. Now, what you're going to do next is go to your basic settings. You can name your server whatever you want. I named mine the Dudes of the Square Table. Don't know why, I thought it was funny. Server description, you can describe it to be whatever you want. You can set your admin password. That way you have access to admin commands and no one else does. You can set it to something like 123. I don't care. It could be that. Whatever you want. And as long as it's numbers and letters, you should be good to go. And you can set a password on the server as well if you want to. I wouldn't, because realistically speaking, people probably aren't going to really cause problems for you. It's not a PvP game. Now, you'll be able to set the maximum players up to the total number of limit that you bought. Just set it to the maximum possible. Enable Archon commands. What that means is you can enter cheats if you need to, but it allows you to have those rights. Now, the extended settings, these are some things that have been added in PALWORLD. I'll explain some of these. Is multiplayer? Yes, you want that turned on, unless you want to play by yourself, which is fine too. Is PvP? If you want to play PvP against people, you can click that on. It's up to you. Can pick up other guild death penalty drops. That basically just means can you pick up other people's death crop stuff. I would set that on if you're playing with friends, because then you can help them out. Enable non-login penalty. I don't want someone to have any non-login penalties, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Exist player after logout. Obviously, if you want your players to be there and keeping things rendered in, that's what you would do there. Enable fast travel. Yes, turn that on because that's how the game's supposed to be played. Is start location select by map. Basically, by leaving this on, you'll get to select which island you start on, which can be really effective and useful. So definitely have that on. Enable defense other guild player. Basically what that means is you can enable defenses for other guild players. Now, enable player to player damage. That just means that anyone else can damage anyone else. That includes friendly tribes, so be aware of that one. You can turn that off or on, it's up to you. Enable friendly fire. You can do whatever you want with that. Enable the invader enemies. This is a part of the game. Some people don't like having this on. You can turn it off, but it basically allows the waves and hordes to exist. As long as you have defenses, you're probably fine. But if you do not have defenses, this could be problematic for you. But it's part of the game because they're meant to like give you free loot, stuff like that. If you're going to play like more casually, I would probably turn it off though. Active UNKO, this is something, just leave that on. Enable aim assist pad. This is for people that have controllers. I leave it off because, I mean, I don't like aim assist. It bothers me for some reason, so I leave it off. Keyboard, again, I would leave that off. Auto reset guild, no online players, doesn't matter too much. And then the rest of these are all your individual rate settings for PALWORLD, right? every single one of these controls a certain thing, right? So daytime speed, nighttime speed, if you make these higher or lower, it's going to increase the rate at which that passes or how long it is. Experience rate gathering, all of these, if you want to play vanilla Palworld, leave them all at 1, because if you change them at all, it's going to change your overall numbers. If you make this 2 times experience. If you make this 2 times length of night. Pal capture rate, how quickly, how often, spawn numbers, if you want to make that above 1, if you want more things to spawn in, but it could cause issues with your server if you put it up to something crazy. Every single one of these, though, pretty self-explanatory. Damage rate defenses, damage rate attack, so like increasing the speed in which you defend or attack. And then all of this stuff, stomach decrease rate. I don't mind this one. Again, I like playing the vanilla Palworld, so I'm going to leave all of these for my personal server on 1. But anything that you would raise above 1, by the way, is going to increase that number, and anything beneath 1 is going to decrease that number. So if I wanted to decrease the amount of stamina that I used, I would put that at 0.5. And if I wanted to increase it, I would put it at 2. So it'd be more, the higher the numbers aren't good for that one, for example. But you can see that if it says player, it's you. If it says pal, it means you're pal first. And all of these are going to kind of describe what you're talking about. Collection drop rate. So if you want drops to show up, collection object HP rate, all of these things, enemy drop item rates. So if you want to increase the amount of loot they drop, it would be above 1. So that's one that could be fun if you wanted to try that. Drop item alive max hours, increase that if you want to have more time for item drops, basically. Now you can see all of these pretty simple. Work speed rate, you can increase this if you want your pals to go a little bit quicker, but that's up to you. Again, entirely up to you, so keep that in mind. So these numbers should be something that you kind of tinker to what you want them to be, but again, it's up to you. Now once you've saved all of those numbers, you're going to go ahead and click save at the bottom. Now all of those numbers, what's going to happen is it's going to go save. If you'd made any major changes, you're going to see this show up. It's going to restart and load all of those preferences into your server, right? Once it's loaded all those preferences into your server, the next step is incredibly easy. You can go to status. Literally, you're going to go over to whatever, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and leave my server password off, right? I'm going to go over here. When you're on status, IP address, you're going to have this little box show up. You just click and it copies it for you to your clipboard. And then in order to join your server, you literally just have to go to this down here and then go ahead and enter the IP address. Now I did just restart it, so it might take a second to boot back up, but as soon as it's ready, you can click this and you're going to be able to connect to your server. Now, just to show you how easy it is, we are loading into the server right now, and you can see here I am. Now I've already spawned into this server. That's why I've got a little lower health, but that's it. And look how smoothly it runs. Runs just about flawlessly because someone else's machine is running it for you. You don't need to render anything in. It's all going to be done for you. And just like your normal Palworld experience, it's going to be right here. If you want to turn the server off when you log out, you can do that to prevent some things from happening, or you can leave it on. It's up to you. So as soon as I get over here, you can see I can talk to everyone just like I normally would, and it just runs like a server. And now you can have up to, I think it's 32 is the max number of players they suggest, but the more players you have on it right now, because it's not an optimized game, the more difficulty and laggy you're going to see on these kinds of things. So just be aware of that. So anyways, hopefully this video helps you out in creating your own server. You can use any company you want, but I really do recommend gPortal because that's who I use. And it's been, again, they've been amazing. I've used them for other games. I've used them for Ark. I've used them for other things, Minecraft, all kinds of stuff. And they always have awesome stuff. So anyways, hope this video helps you out. And other than that, teach.